PlumberSurplus.com is an online retailer of home improvement and building material products. We were launched in August of 2004. For a couple of years prior to that, we spent a lot of time kind of building the business, building the product database, engaging suppliers, and setting up a supply network. That allows us to basically buy product direct from wholesalers, distributors, and manufacturers to ship directly to customers that we gather across the internet. So we're able to take a vast array of customers across the United States and bring them to wholesalers and manufacturers and aggregate all that volume into a nice seamlessly integrated solution that allows them to basically provide warehousing and drop shipping services for us. Right now, we've actually just launched a really exciting strategic plan. We pulled all of our managers and team leaders together, and we shared with them a vision that Ronnie, Tim, and I have put together that kind of brings us into a phase where we're able to take all of this infrastructure and technology and talent that we've put together and leverage it across multiple industries or multiple verticals. And over the next 6 months, targeting tax return timeframe, actually in 2008 for completion, we will have rounded out a comprehensive e-commerce solution that we can copy and paste to new verticals such as maybe the wine or beverage industry or the salon supplies industry or maybe auto parts or those kinds of things. And we're really excited about that vision. And over the next 6 months, we'll really be pulling together the last few pieces that we need so that hopefully by April or May of next year, we will have engaged a new industry and be really proving our ability to actually extrapolate what we've done into new arenas. And we're pretty excited about that.
I believe that entrepreneurs are born. It's a DNA that later on is discovered. I think of the young person that very young is building a lemonade stand out in the front yard or out in the street, and you kind of wonder where that inspiration comes from. And I think it comes from within. Later on it's discovered and then fashioned and molded and shaped and used or not used. But in the case of entrepreneurship, I believe that it's born.
The inspiration for our business came from my father, Ronnie. He had spent many years in an industry that seemed to be quite broken given the advances in technology over time and the opportunity that the internet provided. And the solution that he brought to Brian and to myself was one that was really exciting and one that over time we could master and scale to other industries outside the vertical that he had experience in.
Out of college, out of my undergraduate degree, I took a job in aerospace and did really well there, excelled in that environment. The corporate environment has a lot of valuable benefits, and it wasn't until a little bit later when I started my master's program and Ronnie and Tim really refining a lot of their vision for the startup of Plumber Surplus that I actually made the transition from the more traditional corporate environment to an entrepreneurship environment. And one of the things that really appealed to me in that transition was changing from an environment where the highs and lows were really kind of in a controlled bandwidth to an environment where it's a lot more dynamic and a lot more exciting in that the highs are really much higher than you find in a corporate environment. Although the lows can be lower, the highs are really much more exciting. It's very rare that you find a day in the corporate environment that's as exciting as the first time that you exceed $1 million a month in sales, for example. That's a really exciting threshold, or you hire your first employee or rent your first office. Those are pretty exciting days.
What is very satisfying is watching how this original idea is being handled and managed by my partners. Tim and Brian have taken this business to a platform I could not ever have imagined. And in that, they have also inspired our employees, managers and team leaders and other employees to look at this vision, look at this concept, take ownership of this business within the parameters of your job description. And I can stand back and watch people like Tim and Brian and many of our managers and team leaders just embrace this vision, apply their skills, and move it forward to other platforms I could have never imagined.
I would advise an aspiring entrepreneur that he or she be absolutely certain that they have an undying passion for the business that they are in, and that they also surround themselves with people who are just as zealous. And if they can do both of those things, then they're all but guaranteed to succeed.